This chapter, we begin the adventures of Asta advancing his ki because in the next 7 days, he will be in the mix of training as he's on the road to get stronger to fight against Lucius. But this chapter also focuses on Asta as well as a character because we get to see how desperate he is to go home and save everyone due to him feeling guilty of failing to save Sister Lily. But we also get a reunite of Asta and Libby as well. So we start off in the beginning of the chapter as we were left off, where we see that Ichika is still grabbing Asta's face, crushing it, as Asta is still surprised that Yami has a little sister. He even stated that Yami never said anything about that, as Ichika starts to add more pressure to his face, and she even stated that she doesn't even care for her brother either. Sounds like she's very mad at Yami. So the villagers, they're all speculating, and they see that Asta, he is not from this country, and they begin to start to worry about Asta because since he is a foreigner, because the color of his hair, and they also notice his devil arm. So a large amount of people, they start to feel very unease because foreigners brings a lot of disaster. So Ryu, he kind of noticed that these people are feeling uncomfortable. So he grabs both of them and starts to hit the jets as he's going towards the house where Liba is recovering. So when Asta opens the door, he starts to freak out because of the fact that he's surrounded by a whole bunch of water goldfishes as we meet the man who is behind the recovery of Liba, as one of the goldfishes was able to spit out Liba onto Asta's hands. And Asta, he is just very much celebrating at this moment because he is happy that he is not alone in this foreign country, as he was worrying that he won't be able to see Liba and that he is safe. And as Liba is actually happy to see Asta as well and that he is safe also. So Fumito, he explains why Liba's recovery took so long and why they were separated, because it was his first time actually healing a devil. So he doesn't want to do the same healing method as he would do to a human. So he wanted to take his first time, which is very reasonable. You can't blame him because he really did a good job. But you are able to see that Liba has the same scar as Asta because they were in devil union mode and they're both links since they did the devil binding ritual. So anything that happens to Liba will happen to Asta and vice versa. So after that, Fumito, he made food for Asta, which showcased Fumito's not just only a doctor, but he's also a man who has chef skills as well, because he was cooking some good food because Asta was loving his food and enjoying himself until reality sinked in, and we see that Asta's anxiety, the doubt, and the depression of him to go over to the Clover Kingdom, because he went and he tells Ryu that is there any way to go back to the Clover Kingdom, as Ryu told him a million times that if you go to the Clover Kingdom, you will not win against Lucius. As Asta, he goes ahead and he cut Ryu in mid-sentence as he's trying to visualize the failure of him because he couldn't protect Sister Lily from transforming into an angel, because the failure of protecting someone that's most precious to him keeps running to his mind, and knowing that the fact that he is here and everyone else is over there with this lunatic is driving him crazy, and knowing that he won't be able to protect them. So Asta, he is begging him to please let him go so that he could go ahead and save them. But Ryu, he goes ahead and he tells him to stay here because you have plenty time to get stronger, and besides, Lucius is not going to start anything. So Asta says that, like, I've been training my whole entire life and you're telling me that I need to be here for 7 days to train. I need to go ahead and protect these people. But then we start to see that the doubt starts to kick in, because it says that I was never even strong enough. But all of a sudden, Ichika, she goes right in front of Asta and she slapped the hell out of Asta, and she just took off. Like, she just cussed him out, saying that I don't know what's going on with you, nor do I care if you die, but the fact that you're even alive right now is thanks to Ryu and Fumito for saving you. Foreigners like you are said to be the main cause of disaster. Maybe to you he is a mysterious foreigner, but this is the man who's honorably a shogun of our nation. If you disregard his advice and throw away your life right after he saved it, then right here and now, I will cut you down myself. Do not take people's kindness for granted, you fool. And Asta, he felt every last single thing of these words because Asta, he felt so bad. This man was just like, you know what? I was tripping. My bad. Thank you for saving me. And I'll take back the request of returning home. As you already see that Ryu, he was just smiling at Ichika because he was just like, oh, because homegirl has his back. But the one thing that Ryu said that has you questioning is that he said that if Lucius had his way, we would all be in trouble. And what do you mean by that? Isn't Lucius already winning and in control of the situation that's happening currently? So that has to be a huge question mark of what he just said, unless the reason why he said this is because the fact that Lucius, he's over control over the four kingdoms and he hasn't hit the lands of the rising sun. He hasn't hit the whole world yet. Probably that's why he probably said that, but I don't know. This is just a huge question mark that you gotta have to think like, wait, what did you say? But we didn't focus on that sentence because we go ahead and we begin Asta's training as he starts to learn heavenly severance, as it's a way that it will overcome Lucius' overwhelming physical strength and magical powers. So Ryu, he told Asta just focus and concentrate on the feeling of ki, because ki is the flow of variance and energy that everyone subconsciously used to put their output of their Ryoku. So Asta is watching Ichika as she is having a flow of ki all over her body, and as she is concentrating the ki into her fingers as she's about to do the karate chop, and then she used heavenly severance as she's able to split the bamboo in half, not even touching it, just using the ki as a slash. And Asta, he is just in shock to see like the amount of speed and the ability of heavenly severance that is able to do and create, because it's able to create the amount of force at the end of it and it explodes. So at this current moment, Fumito, he's saying that, wait a minute, are you going to make him try? This is a very advanced technique and skill. I understand that he has to do training and he only has a limited time, but this technique takes actually a long time. It takes years to master. Do you think that he's able enough to go ahead and do it? And but Asta, he is so in his doubts and is so in his mind because he is just like, he has so many things that's running to his head. He says, I never thought of using ki like that. It's like an admission of what everyone else used to do with their ki for Monoskin. And now that I have a contract with Libby, because Asta, he's just in shock. He doesn't know what to do. But then Ryu, he put his mind of ease and he says, you already seems to have a use of ki, haven't you? And now that you're able to, you got Liba and the anti-magic flowing through your body. So instead of just using your Roku or whatever it calls, why don't you just use your anti-magic power, as you see that the anti-magic is flowing through Asta's body, which we kind of speculated that when Asta, he's in the lands of the rising sun, he's going to actually fully master and take control over his anti-magic, because it seems like each arc Asta, when he gets stronger and stronger, his anti-magic becomes stronger as well, but it also kind of gets out of whack, especially during the battle against Lucifer. You know, Asta, Yami, and Not when they did Devil's Playground, that technique, but that technique didn't fully work because Asta's anti-magic was so much overflowing and going out of control to the point where that technique didn't work anymore. Now that we're able to see that he's in the land of the rising suns, now he's able to try to use the anti-magic power that's in his body, try to maintain it and control it, because even though as Asta, he becomes like stronger and stronger, he still has to gain control over his anti-magic. And as we can see him, he's actually focusing all the anti-magic powers in his body, and then so he's just staring at the bamboo as he's going to do heavenly servants as he goes ahead and he do the karate chop. But then we see that Fumito, he's saying that as I thought, because we didn't see the bamboo actually break or dissolve. So everyone's just like, yep, he has more training to do. But then all of a sudden, the bamboo is split in two, but it actually disintegrated, actually. And as we see that Ryu, he is just laughing his ass off, saying that good job. He's just like, you already had a solid foundation. Y'all just didn't know how to focus it. From here on out, you're going to gain tons of experience. As Asta, he is shaking, and he's shaking of excitement and actually relief, because throughout this whole chapter, Asta, he was having doubts of himself, that he wasn't going to be strong enough, and that he couldn't believe that, that he failed. Like, he was in his self-pity. So now that he turns around and he looks at Ichika, he tells her, thank you. I can still be strong. Please help me out. I'm counting on you. As Ichika, she's looking at Asta, and she's just like, I can't stand your ass. That's the look that she's giving Asta at this current moment. I'm just laughing at it. But other than that, Asta, he finally gained his confidence, and he's going to go ahead and try to do more techniques and abilities to use. And he's actually going to use Ki, which is actually great for him, because the fact that is that he doesn't have any mana. So of course, Ki will be a great resource for him to actually master anti-magic. So this chapter was really great, and we're going to see the training continues as Asta, he's able to manage and master his magical powers that he has gotten. But other than that, let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this chapter. What's your favorite moment? If you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man, and hope you guys have a wonderful day and be safe out here. Peace.